Nintendo's consoles are littered with platformers, and not only are there scores of games that focus on navigating 2D worlds, but they often sport a cartoony, family-friendly aesthetic that makes it difficult to distinguish one from another at a glance. Seriously, is there a major difference between Mario and Donkey Kong? They both run from left to right after all, and they both have a capability for jumping. They're practically clones, right? Well, I don't buy into that belief one bit. Nintendo's franchises each fill a different gaming need, so I happily play new offerings to see which direction my favorite characters will go next. So in this video, I just want to explore how Nintendo's three biggest platforming series compare to each other, and then figure out which one to play based on your gaming moods. So the first one, and the one I have to start with, is Super Mario Bros. The quintessential platforming franchise has remained true to what it represented almost 30 years ago. The predominant appeal comes from the sheer joy of movement that Nintendo has injected into every one of these Koopa-bashing adventures. Mario has a gravity-defying jump so you can bound effortlessly on one of those Goomba heads and across cavernous expanses. Nintendo highlights this strength through the various suits that each game employs. Soaring through the air with the cape in Super Mario World is super fun to do, and the squirrel suit in New Super Mario Bros. U furthers the argument that Mario is at his best far above the ground. It's in the strongest games that we see level design that forces you to take advantage of Mario's prodigious talents. Pulling off a precise series of leaps is eminently rewarding, so much so that I still love every new addition even after all these years. To be honest, Mario is for everyone. Mario games are so empowering and so freeing that anyone who wants to bounce through imaginative locales will love spending time in the Mushroom Kingdom. Plus, Mario's games are probably one of the best for multiplayer of any franchise around right now. Now, the second series, Donkey Kong Country, is also a lot of fun as well. Now, if it's taught me anything, it's that gorillas aren't nearly as agile as humans. Also, they look a lot better in neckwear than most people would. And anyways, unlike Super Mario Bros., Donkey Kong's movement is so heavy, so methodical, that the appeal must come from something outside of the core action, and the strength of Donkey Kong Country is firmly in its level design. We first saw how impressive stage construction could offset limited movement back in Donkey Kong Country 2, because expansive locales rewarded anyone willing to venture off the beaten path, and the collectibles dotting the landscapes weren't needless busywork, but tokens proving the player's cunning. Now, Retro Studios has taken over development duties from Rare, although the switch hasn't affected the focus of the franchise. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze contains some of the most masterful, varied, and downright exciting levels that I've ever seen. Even something as seemingly mundane as minecarting has been elevated because of how expertly each element has been placed. Anyways, if you're methodical and you find it difficult to connect to plumbers, then Donkey Kong Country is the franchise for you. Also, if you're one of the people who likes to listen to gaming music when you're doing other things, point your ears towards Donkey Kong Country soundtracks. Now, the third major Nintendo platforming franchise is Kirby. Kirby looks more like a monster than a hero, and his actions only further the argument that he's not natural. But the main draw of his many games stems from his horrific talents. The pink blob can inhale the many baddies that populate his world, but unlike Yoshi, who merely turns his enemies into eggs, he actually absorbs their souls. Well, maybe not their souls, but at least he devours their powers. And so you venture through each stage with the intent of inhaling the many feeble foes to see what new abilities you can add to your repertoire. Such a unique force forces you to actually really like such games. Kirby's games are very diverse because of all the abilities you can master, and basically, Kirby rewards those who love to experiment. Mixing between elemental attacks or juggling weapon types ensures that there's tons of variety in both traversal and combat, so these games are ideal for anyone who wants to dictate progress on their own terms. Now, anyways, all of Nintendo's platforming games are really fun, and they all star their lovable mascots, but they fit so many different needs, and they come in so many different forms, that they've been able to stay fresh even as the decades go by. Let me know what your favorite Nintendo platforming game is in the comments below. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Bye!